WYMT Mountain News at 6.
This afternoon, Hazard City officials declared a water supply emergency. They are asking everyone to conserve. Several water line breaks are part of what led to the water shortage. Here's some video from one of those breaks earlier today near Memorial Gym. Crews spent several hours working to fix the issue, but city officials say leaks are not the only problem. WYMT's Macy Marie joins us now live at City Hall with the latest. Macy.
Steve, I was up here at City Hall earlier today talking to officials about some of those issues that led to the water supply shortage. Now, they do say that line breaks, such as the one you talked about at Memorial Gym and Hazard, are part of the problem. But it's more than that. They say an increased use in water during these recent very cold nights also led to the shortage. You know, leaving your faucet dripping to keep your pipes from freezing up. Now, they want people to cut back in any way they can. In the wake of a water supply emergency,
cut back on the drips and the regular streams running. Check the toilets to make sure we don't have any running toilets or anything in the house like that.
Hazard City officials urge people to cut back on using water.
There's pretty much everything in here. You have to use your water.
Causing those at local businesses, like hair salons, to become resourceful.
We will figure out a way, I promise you, if it means that we have to go and buy water in the gallons and heat it up so that they can have a nice warm shampoo.
But water usage is not the only concern for city officials.
All throughout the city and the county, we had several meters that did freeze during the winter, the cold spell here the last few days, but those are the primarily ones. We've had a few small breaks here in town.
Hoping as the weather warms up and people conserve, the problem will resolve itself. Now, officials do tell me that car washes and laundry facilities that use hazard water are also closed during this time. They're asking everyone, as the temperatures do warm up over the weekend and tonight compared to previous days, that you shut off those faucets at night, check your water, make sure it's not running before you leave the house, and they're hoping this problem will soon solve itself. For now, live in Hazard, Macy Marie, now back to you.
And certainly we hope it's nothing like what happened last winter. Macy, thank you very much. Well, while we felt the bite of the deep freeze this week, we did not see too much snow. But if you have a child at Morehead State, they did get a little treat today. This is video of campus earlier, and while it was still not much, it was more than most of us saw. Crews still worked to clear the sidewalks of the snow, and this weekend, though, will feel more like spring. That snow will become a distant memory just in time for Groundhog Day. Meteorologist Paige Noel is here with a preview. Paige?
Yeah, this weekend snow is not in the forecast. We don't have snow in the forecast for quite a while, but like you were saying, up into Morehead, they got a little bit this morning, still seeing some on the ground up there, but you can see roadways were pretty clear earlier this morning, so road crews did a good job at that. But as we look at our Whitesburg cam in downtown Whitesburg right now, those mostly cloudy skies are really taking over the forecast, and they will continue really throughout the evening and a little bit into those overnight hours as well. Here's satellite radar that shows a little bit of that snow that moved through a little bit earlier this morning, but you can see clouds are starting to break now. And as we take a look at Pinpoint Doppler, we are looking at a clean sweep. We're going to continue to see that as we head into the weekend, which is just the good news I know most of us would like to hear. To those upper 30s to lower 40s, some spots into those mid to upper 40s down into the Cumberland Valley. So we will cool off a little bit tonight, especially up to the north in Morehead and Ashland, as they are below freezing right now. But as we head into the weekend, we are actually going to warm up, and it's going to be beautiful. Sun is going to finally return, and then we're going to see the warm conditions continue for the work week. Daily rain chances return by the time we get to your Monday. We'll have those details coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right. Thank you, Paige. A gap between two sections of a bridge along US 119 in Letcher County has a handful of people in the community worried. The 6-inch gap expands the entire length of the bridge, but officials say you should not worry. WYMT's Connor James helps break down what caused this and why, although it looks pretty scary, it's nothing to be afraid of.
At first glance, this looks pretty terrifying. This gap in the bridge on US 119 has locals worried.
Yeah, a little bit, because my family go across that bridge every day.
Joseph Lee Patrick drives this way daily.
Yep.
Every day.
We drive every day, go to Whitesburg and go get hog feed and stuff like that.
He, like many who've seen this crack, have concerns. Like, is this bridge falling apart, or is it dangerous?
Not only is it not a crack in the bridge, it's not dangerous.
Transportation officials like Sarah George, who've overseen this area since the bridge opened a little less than a year ago, say not to worry.
The rubber expansion joint that connects the two stretched beyond its capacity and came loose.
Between each slab of the bridge is this expander, so the bridges don't butt up against each other and crack.
Bridges have to breathe, and they expand and contract as temperatures rise and fall.
This one, the one that's hardly there anymore, has cracked and come apart due to extreme heat in the summer and bitter cold in the winter.
Of course it has to be fixed, and it will be fixed, but it is not an emergency and is not a danger to tires or vehicles.
And officials reiterate, although it may look scary, driving across it is A-OK. In Letcher County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials do tell us that the integrity and strength of the bridge has not changed. Crews were out today surveying the area in hopes of making repairs. 2 men ran off from police today in Johnson County. The sheriff told us they were being transported back to jail from court. Police caught one of them fairly quickly, but it took them a little longer searching around Walmart and other areas for the second inmate. Investigators took one of them to a hospital where he tried to get away again. Now, so far, they have not released the names of the men, but again, they are both back in custody. In Floyd County, police arrested 3 people Wednesday in a drug bust. Police say during the search of a home in Printer, they found crystal meth and other drugs. Here's a picture of some of the drugs and cash they took to the sheriff's office. Deputies believe the money was from illegal drug sales. Stephen Hunter, Olivia Johnson, and Johnanna Tackett all face drug charges. In Knox County, the parents of a 4-year-old child pleaded guilty to criminal abuse charges. Here is Nicholas Jorgensen and Natasha McBee. Police say the child was locked in a room for punishment. The Commonwealth's attorney recommended a 12-year sentence for Jorgensen and a 7-year sentence for McBee. Both will be sentenced February 22nd. A Lexington bar has been called to court in connection to a deadly crash on I-75. Police say Joey Lee Bailey, who grew up in Floyd County, was driving the wrong way when he crashed into the Abbas family. Bailey and the family of 5 all died. The Fayette County coroner says Bailey's blood alcohol content was nearly 4 times the legal limit. The Lexington Alcoholic Beverage Control Office gave notice this week to Horseshoes Kentucky Grill and Saloon. The bar is accused of breaking state law by over-serving Bailey. A hearing between the ABC office and Horseshoes is set for February 19th. Overall, though, good news for Kentucky drivers. A new report shows the amount of highway deaths in the state are down from last year. And as Chelsea Jones reports, statistics also show wearing a seatbelt can play a big role in saving lives.
There's good news for drivers here in Kentucky. New data shows fewer people are dying in car accidents.
To have lower numbers is great, but we love to see it at 0 at some point in time.
Today, state officials released a report showing highway deaths are down by 7.7%. 722 people died from a fatal accident in 2018 compared to 782 in 2017.
A number of people are actually starting to wear seatbelts. You know, people are starting to use Uber or taxis.
And Lexington police are keeping a close eye on drivers breaking the law. Sergeant Donnell Gordon says the department participates in annual campaigns like Click It or Ticket and Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. But he tells us more officers, though, are working on grants that specifically target safety.
A lot of the officers work off duty to work those grants, and that's all they're looking for. That's their assignment, is to find people not wearing their seatbelts, also to find people who are driving impaired.
Law enforcement officials say they hope these numbers will continue to decrease, but they add that even one fatality is one too many.
It's so easy just to put a seatbelt on. Just get in your car, snap your seatbelt on.
And please be responsible if you're drinking this Super Bowl weekend, because police say they'll be out in full force looking for any drunk drivers.
But we just want people to have a good time. Let's enjoy this Super Bowl, and let's be able to talk about it on Monday in a positive way.
In Lexington, Chelsea Jones, WYMT Mountain News.
The Kentucky Office of Highway Safety reports this is the second year in a row that highway deaths have decreased. The case of the traveling bandit will be tried in federal court in southern Florida. We learned that from court documents today. The man arrested, this is him, Jason Lee Robinson, is from Pike County. They call him the traveling bandit because police say he robbed 7 banks in multiple states, including one in Miami. This week, during a hearing in Colorado where federal agents arrested him, a judge put Robinson in the custody of U.S. Marshals. Currently, we do not see a court date set in Florida. More troopers will be on the road across the state. Kentucky State Police graduated 35 cadets today. The ceremony took place this afternoon. For 25 weeks, these men and women have gone through extensive training, learning what it takes to wear the uniform. Trooper Dylan Mullins was one of them, his wife, son, and daughter, all gleaming with pride, and who were also really happy to have him back home.
Overwhelming, just eager to get back home to my family. I've been gone for 25 weeks, so I'm just excited to be back home with them.
Including today's graduating class, there are now 809 Kentucky State Troopers working across the state. Next week, the General Assembly will return to Frankfort. Lawmakers still have plenty to discuss during this short session. The big question is, will they once again try to tackle Kentucky's pension issue? Many lawmakers have also put medical marijuana high on their list, and there are also a couple of bills sitting in both chambers to address school safety. You probably remember him from The Call of the Wild Man. Today, fans of the show got a shock when learning a co-host died. How Neil James is being remembered when we return.
And temperatures will continue to warm up as we head into the weekend, but when will rain chances return? We'll break down that full forecast in just a few minutes.